is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. A group of paramedics have set up a GoFundMe page for a toddler they worked to save from a fire yesterday. 2-year-old Royce Jankowski has second-degree burns on more than a third of his body after his home in Enderlin, North Dakota caught fire. It happened yesterday afternoon around 3 when officials say Royce was jumping on a bed and it somehow caught fire. The boy's mother was working as a medic and had to respond to the fire. Royce was flown to a Minneapolis hospital where he's being treated for his injuries. Money raised through the GoFundMe page will help pay for Royce's medical care and living expenses for his family, who are relocating to the Twin Cities to be close to Royce as he starts down the long road to recovery. Tonight on Valley News Live at 9 and 10, we'll hear from a first responder who was there yesterday. Now here's a look at today's top 4 at 4. A school bus rollover landed a man in the hospital this morning. Luckily, no kids were on board at the time. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says it happened around 9 a.m. in Ransom County, about a mile south of Church's Ferry. 50-year-old Toronto Watson was driving the brand new bus up to Canada when he fell asleep at the wheel. He ran off the road and the bus rolled several times. Watson was taken to a hospital in Devil's Lake and is expected to be okay. A 15-year-old girl was airlifted to Sanford after flipping her car in Ransom County. It happened around 10 a.m. on Sunday on Lamore County Road 35. Police say Bailey Stockert of Sanborn lost control on a gravel road, but the crash is still under investigation. She had to be cut out of her seatbelt by first responders. More than 1,000 Minnesota National Guardsmen are being deployed to the Middle East. An Army spokesperson says about 1,100 soldiers will embark on a 9-month mission supporting Operation Spartan Shield. This includes units from Detroit Lakes and Crookston. You can catch their deployment ceremony live on their Facebook page this Sunday at 1 p.m. The soldiers will first travel to Fort Bliss in Texas for training before they head overseas. Senate Democratic leaders have struck a deal with the president to give the next round of stimulus payments to fewer people. Every American who files taxes individually and makes up to $75,000 per year would still receive the full $1,400 direct check. Couples filing jointly with incomes up to $150,000 will also continue to get the full payment. Narrowing eligibility was a change requested by some moderate Democrats in the Senate. Now here's a first look at our weather with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch.
Good evening, Stacy. Another great day here across the valley, but we have this little battle between cooler air to the east and some milder temperatures out to the west. And along that, we have a batch of clouds, and the radar shows just a little bit of light snow and light shower activity into Lakes Country. Not all of this is reaching the ground, but the best chance right now would be Park Rapids, south through Sebeka and into Todd County. Now, as we take a look at temperatures, the yellow on Hutch's map, that's banana growing weather out there. 60s in Bismarck. We have 60s in Aberdeen. Many of us here in the valley are in the 40s, but it's cooler to the north and east near Lake of the Woods. This evening, we'll have areas of clouds, and in fact, we could see increasing clouds here in Fargo. By bedtime tonight, we'll be in those low 30s and upper 20s in Grand Forks. You could see there a little bit more in the way of cloudiness up to the north. Our quiet weather does continue, but that air mass that's to the north and east, the cooler one, is trying to slosh back our way. I'll have details in your hour-by-hour forecast here in a minute. What you can expect as we go towards our late week and weekend ahead.
All right, Hutch, thanks so much. Clay County Public Health is updating their vaccination timeline. This comes after Minnesota Governor Tim Walz released new guidance for the state. The health department is still working to vaccinate seniors 65 and older, as well as teachers and child care workers. Once the state vaccinates 70% of its seniors, the vaccine will be offered to those with underlying health conditions and workplace exposure risks. Next month, officials say they'll start looking at people with specific high-risk conditions like Down syndrome and active cancer treatment. By the summer, they hope to start vaccinating the general population.
If we get more vaccine, this will all move faster. And so the ability to get more vaccine into our hands is our goal, and we are able to continue to vaccinate the next population group.
The county plans on giving out 1,700 doses this week. Minnesota received its first doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine today. Governor Walz says the state will receive 45,000 doses this week. Minnesota is now considered a national leader in getting shots into arms. The CDC says the state ranks third for the percentage of doses received that have been administered. We'll hear more from the governor on the state's vaccine rollout tonight on Valley News Live at 6. Tonight on Valley News Live at 5 and 5:30, watch for a special moment. for a Minnesota woman who gave both of her 87-year-old grandparents the COVID vaccine. They're both long-term care residents and say the year of lockdown and restrictions has been tough on the family.
It's pretty undescribable. It's very emotional for me to be able to give my grandparents their shot, and yeah, it's really amazing.
Lindsay is a pharmacist at CVS. She says she hasn't had a day off in more than a month. For an easy way for you to stay on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information, use our VNL vaccine tracker. Visit our website or open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. There's optimism about the pandemic as COVID vaccine production is ramping up. However, the White House is warning that some states may be moving too quickly to roll back restrictions. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill.
It is now time to open Texas 100%.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced his state is completely lifting COVID restrictions next week. No mask mandate, no capacity limits indoors. Mississippi is also rescinding its mask mandate.
I would still encourage individuals to wear a mask, to socially distance, and to do the right thing to protect their own health.
Vaccination plans are ahead of schedule, with President Biden announcing there should be enough vaccine for every American by the end of May.
That's progress. Important progress, but it's not enough to have the vaccine supply. We need vaccinators, people to put the shots in people's arms.
Today, the White House announced a new initiative with health insurers to help vaccinate older patients in vulnerable communities.
The aim is to help vulnerable seniors overcome three of the most challenging current barriers: questions about the vaccine, scheduling, and transportation.
Here on Capitol Hill, the Senate is preparing to take up President Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package, with Majority Leader Chuck Schumer saying debate could begin as early as today.
Look, we want to get the biggest, strongest, boldest bill that can pass, and that's what we're working to do.
It is my hope that at the end, Senate Republicans will unanimously oppose it, just like House Republicans did.
To help get the bill passed, President Biden struck a deal with moderate Democrats to put tighter limits on who is eligible for the $1,400 direct payments. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Democrats can pass the bill without Republican support, but it would take the vote of all 50 Senate Democrats, as well as Vice President Kamala Harris's tiebreaker vote. An alert from the federal government warning of plans to try to take control of the U.S. Capitol as soon as tomorrow. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI sent a joint intelligence bulletin to state and local law enforcement late last night, warning that domestic violent extremists or militia violent extremists have discussed plans to take control of the U.S. Capitol and remove Democratic lawmakers on or about March 4th. The warning says the cause is conspiracy theories surrounding the 2020 presidential election. Timing your tax return to maximize your next stimulus check. If you had a drop in income this past year or had a child, you may be eligible for more money. You should file your return quickly to take advantage of an upcoming recovery rebate credit. However, if you made more money in 2020, it could make you ineligible for a stimulus payment. And with the Senate set to take up the next relief round this week, the qualifying income may change again. Tax experts say singles making close to $75,000 or couples with a household income of $150,000 may want to delay filing their returns. A new food pantry is popping up in West Fargo. Starting this Friday, the food pantry will be open at Lutheran Church at the Cross from 1 until 3 on a first-come, first-served basis. When you pull into the church parking lot, you'll be asked to stay in your car, pop open your trunk, and someone will place a box of food inside.
Like, everyone needs help sometimes. There's no shame in coming through. We're just here to help each other out. Everyone deserves to have something to eat and to have a full stomach.
To see the other times the pantry will be open, click on this story on valleynewslive.com. And if you're in a position to help, you can do so by donating items like snacks and non-perishables to the church. Families can also pick up free boxes of food this month in both Fargo and Moorhead. The Farmers to Families food boxes come from a partnership between the YMCA of Cass and Clay counties and the USDA. More than 2,600 family-sized boxes will include fresh produce, dairy, and meat products, and they'll be available on a first-come, first-served basis March 9th in the West Acres Mall parking lot and March 17th at the Moorhead Center Mall parking lot at 4 p.m. both days. The Bison are back on the road this weekend, traveling to Springfield, Missouri to take on Missouri State for their third game of the spring season. The pregame show starts at 1. Kickoff is set for 2 o'clock. You can catch all the action on KVLY. Coming up, it's not a thing yet in the U.S., but we'll show you how other countries are having people prove they've been vaccinated against COVID-19 before getting on a plane, staying at a hotel, even going out to a bar.
It was a chilly start to our day in Lake of the Woods County, down towards Beltrami County, with near 10-degree readings there. The rest of us started out in the 20s, but we also started out with this picturesque scene. Not bad today, and this not bad weather continues. Details next.